Hey guys, today I am starting a bunch of things for our farm stand. This year we wanted to offer some seed starts, and Garrett's going to be doing a video on building our little farm stand table, so stay tuned for that sometime this week or next. But for right now, I'm going to get a bunch of stuff started. So today we are going to plant up some sunflowers. You guys remember last year we had a nice big sunflower patch and we saved seeds. We ate about 75% of the seeds and we stored away a bunch for planting this year. So you can see I've got some heads here. These are the only heads that I've separated the seeds from so far, because this is all I'm going to need right now. So we're going to go ahead and till up a patch for our sunflowers, and we're going to spread these out. So we decided not to do the market garden in this patch because it just stays too wet over here right now because we're getting way too much rain and we need to start planting. So we are moving the market garden to a higher place on the property where there's better drainage, and I'm going to do the sunflower patch here since sunflowers like a lot of moisture. So I'm doing the same thing I did last year because I just had a lot of success with it. I'm just going to throw these out there, and then I'm going to cover them up with a little bit of hay, a really thin layer of hay, and that's only to keep the birds from eating them. I'm not worried about some of them being densely planted because again, I did this last year and I didn't have any issues. So I know that the birds are still going to get some of them and some of them aren't going to make it. So I'm not worried about them being close together at all. So I've got some hay covered over the sunflowers, and it's just a really thin layer. Not too thin, but thin enough for them to sprout up through the hay, and this should keep the birds away from most of them. In this next area here, I'm going to do the Three Sisters garden method, and I'm just going to do a few of them just to kind of see how they do. But that'll be for another video. The kids were running laps for PE, and Charlie is joining them apparently. The fava beans are huge. They're so tall now. But look, the beans are doing really well. I'm so excited. So I have my kids for PE because we homeschool, and we've homeschooled for the last few years. I have them run laps for physical education, and then we do other things like we play soccer, and then they do jumping jacks and things like that, but it's something different all the time. But if I'm really lazy, I just have them run laps and do jumping jacks. Look how pretty the sky is right now. It's so beautiful. Here are some of the yard-long beans and red noodle beans that I seed started again, because I started some more. And I just wanted to give you guys a tip. If you notice that this happens, something eats the leaves off the top, don't worry, leave it in there, and sometimes it'll shoot off new leaves like this one did. Because I leave my seedlings outside, the birds tend to pick at them, even the chickens, so sometimes they'll nibble off the top, but I just leave them and I let them keep going as long as they're still green, and they'll shoot off new leaves. And the red noodle beans, the leaves are yellow in the beginning, you guys. So if you are starting these and you notice that your leaves are yellow, it's not from overwatering. They're just yellow when they first come up, and then they end up turning green when they get to a older age. Purple ruffles, basil. Really pretty sprouts. So here's an example of one that's in between this stage there and this stage here. So you can see it's pushing off new leaves even though the top leaves got eaten off. Pretty cool. I really need to get the strawberries planted because they're already producing. And look at this. I've got little peppers. In here we've got a bunch of stuff coming up. This is kiwano. It's also called a horned melon or a jelly melon. Got a bunch of those. Some Mexican sour gherkins, of course. Those will be going in the rows of the peas when the peas are done. And these are some more fava beans, but in a different variety. And then this is some chard. It's the magenta one. What's this one? Oh, this is the orange Turkish eggplant, I believe. It's not really liking staying that wet. And then these are the Christmas beans, really pretty beans, like a lima bean. I need to get those in the ground because they're huge. And let's see, I think these look like eggplants. Yep, Rosa Bianca eggplants. Oopsies, a bunch of tomatoes in this area. Let's go around and see what else is in here. Got some morning glories. Love those. These are the marigolds. I think these are the, no, hang on. Yeah, giant marigolds. Got a bunch of those going right now. And then habanero peppers sprouted up, red ones. Look at the amaranth. The amaranth is growing like crazy. So pretty. And carnations again. I've showed you guys those before. Oh, what's this over here? My writing is wearing off on these. Oh, more kohlrabi. I didn't realize I seed started some more kohlrabi. That's perfect because I lost a few out there, so I'll replace those this week. And my golden berries are still going to be a while before they come up, but I have some more over there that have already come up. So everything's looking good. There's cucumbers down in there too. Oh, and look at this. The peony that I planted the other day, the leaves are almost ready to start opening up. It's doing really, really well. So Garrett put the first 2 strings on, and he'll end up putting at least 1 or 2 more, because they will get that tall. Hopefully, if it ever stops raining, so these can really take off. They usually get taller than the T-posts, a lot taller. Bunch of eggs today to collect. It's funny, they always lay in different boxes every day. Great egg turnout, but I really need this rain to stop because I'm getting dirty eggs, and they're usually spotless and nice and clean when it's dry, but all this mud is giving me dirty chicken feet. How beautiful is it out here right now? Some really pretty mini double daffodils. The yellow ladybanks has bloomed. I'm going to do a video on how to propagate these soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you liked this video, and we will see you tomorrow.